The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Erves as a profound reminder of the importance of individuality and moral courage. This statement transcends its historical context to resonate with the universal and timeless challenge of resisting conformity. It speaks directly to the essence of critical thinking, urging us to question the validity of popular beliefs and trends rather than blindly following them. In a world where the majority often dictates what is considered right or normal, Aurelius's wisdom encourages us to value rationality and personal integrity over the comfort of blending in. The majority, as history has often shown, is not always rational or morally correct. There have been countless instances where societal norms or collective behavior have led to irrational or even catastrophic outcomes. Aurelius's words highlight the necessity of maintaining an independent mind, one that is capable of discerning truth from falsehood and right from wrong, even in the face of overwhelming societal pressure. To follow the majority without question is to risk falling into the ranks of collective madness, where critical thought is replaced by blind allegiance and moral compromise. By urging us to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane, Aurelius underscores the value of self-awareness and intellectual independence as safeguards against this danger. This idea of resisting conformity is not just a philosophical concept. It has profound practical implications in everyday life. The courage to stand apart from the majority often comes at a cost. It can lead to isolation, ridicule, or even ostracization. Yet, it is in these moments of solitude and resistance that true wisdom and moral strength are cultivated. To think independently and act according to one's convictions, even when they conflict with the prevailing norms, requires a deep sense of integrity and self-confidence. It is this very ability to maintain rationality and adhere to personal values that Aurelius identifies as the true object of life. To illustrate the significance of this principle, consider the story of James, a young software engineer working at a thriving tech startup. The company was celebrated for its rapid innovation and aggressive pursuit of success. But beneath its shiny exterior lay a troubling reality. James discovered that the company was engaging in unethical practices, including the misuse of user data for financial gain. This behavior, though widely accepted within the organization, deeply conflicted with James's sense of right and wrong. He found himself facing a difficult choice: to conform to the majority and remain complicit, or to act on his convictions and risk his career and reputation. At first, James hesitated. The pressure to conform was immense. His colleagues dismissed his concerns, rationalizing the company's actions as necessary for staying competitive. The fear of being ostracized and jeopardizing his professional future weighed heavily on him. Yet, as he reflected on the situation, he realized that remaining silent would not only compromise his integrity, but also make him complicit in actions he believed were fundamentally wrong. Inspired by a sense of moral responsibility, James decided to take action. He began by conducting meticulous research to gather evidence of the unethical practices. Then, he anonymously reported the issue to the relevant regulatory authorities. This decision was not without consequences. James felt the sting of isolation as his colleagues distanced themselves, and he endured sleepless nights worrying about the potential fallout. However, his courage paid off. The authorities launched an investigation, and the company was eventually held accountable for its actions. More importantly, James's decision set a precedent for ethical behavior within his industry, inspiring others to prioritize integrity over conformity. James's story vividly illustrates the essence of Aurelius's quote. By refusing to align himself with the majority, he avoided being swept into the irrational and unethical behaviors that had become normalized within his workplace. Instead, he chose to think independently and act in accordance with his principles, even when it was difficult and unpopular. This act of moral courage not only protected his integrity, but also contributed to a broader cultural shift toward ethical accountability. Aurelius's wisdom challenges us to reflect on our own lives and consider how often we allow societal pressures or popular opinion to dictate our choices. It invites us to question whether we are living authentically or merely conforming to the expectations of others. In a world increasingly dominated by social media and the constant bombardment of collective opinions, the temptation to align ourselves with the majority has never been greater. Yet, the true measure of wisdom lies in our ability to resist this temptation and remain steadfast in our pursuit of truth and integrity. To live according to Aurelius's philosophy is to embrace the courage to think for oneself and to act on one's convictions, even in the face of adversity. It is to recognize that the path of individuality and moral courage, though challenging, is ultimately more fulfilling and meaningful than the shallow comfort of conformity. By staying true to ourselves and questioning the irrationality that often governs the collective, we can avoid the madness of the majority and contribute to a more rational and ethical world. This, as Aurelius so eloquently reminds us, is the true object of life. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This profound insight, rooted in Stoic philosophy, invites us to reconsider how we perceive and navigate the complexities of life. It challenges us to shift our focus away from the uncontrollable chaos of external circumstances and instead turn inward to the one domain where we hold absolute authority, our minds. This realization offers not only a framework for personal resilience, but also a transformative path to inner strength and peace. Consider Emily, a talented professional who had worked tirelessly to climb the corporate ladder. Her dedication was unwavering, her skills exceptional, and her commitment to her job unparalleled. When an opportunity for a promotion arose, Emily believed she was the obvious choice. Yet, when the announcement came, the position was awarded to someone else. Devastated, she felt the sting of rejection deeply. Questions swirled in her mind. Why wasn't I chosen? What did I do wrong? Was all my effort meaningless? These thoughts consumed her, leading to sleepless nights and a growing sense of resentment. At first, Emily's reaction was to externalize her frustration. She blamed the decision-makers, the circumstances, even the colleague who had received the promotion. However, none of this brought her peace. The more she fixated on these external factors, the more powerless she felt. One evening, during a conversation with her mentor, she shared her struggles. Her mentor listened patiently and then offered her a simple yet profound perspective. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Though Emily was initially skeptical, those words lingered in her mind. Over the following days, she began to reflect deeply on what they meant. She came to see that while she couldn't change the outcome of the promotion decision, she could change how she responded to it. This was her moment of awakening, an understanding that her true power lay not in controlling external events, but in mastering her internal reactions. With this new perspective, Emily decided to take deliberate steps to regain control of her inner world. She started by journaling daily, pouring her thoughts and emotions onto paper. This practice helped her process her feelings and identify patterns in her thinking. She also began incorporating mindfulness meditation into her routine, dedicating just 10 minutes each morning to grounding herself in the present moment. Slowly, these practices started to shift her mindset. Instead of dwelling on what she couldn't change, Emily began to focus on what she could, improving her skills, strengthening her professional relationships, and setting personal goals that aligned with her broader career aspirations. Over time, Emily noticed a remarkable transformation. The disappointment that had once consumed her began to fade, replaced by a renewed sense of purpose. She excelled in her current role, not because she was striving to prove something to others, but because she had reconnected with her own intrinsic motivations. Her colleagues noticed the change, admiring her resilience and positive attitude. Unexpectedly, new opportunities began to emerge. Opportunities that Emily might never have considered had she remained trapped in her initial disappointment. Her ability to master her inner world had unlocked doors she hadn't even known existed. Emily's story is a powerful illustration of the Stoic principle that true strength lies within. Life is unpredictable, and external events are often beyond our control. We cannot dictate how others will act, what decisions they will make, or what circumstances we will face. However, we have complete control over how we interpret and respond to these events. This distinction is the essence of personal power and resilience. By by mastering our thoughts and emotions, we can navigate even the most challenging situations with clarity and composure. This principle is not just theoretical. It has practical applications in every aspect of life. Tools like journaling, mindfulness, and meditation are invaluable for cultivating the mental discipline needed to harness this power. Journaling allows us to externalize and examine our thoughts, gaining insight into patterns that might otherwise go unnoticed. Mindfulness teaches us to anchor ourselves in the present, reducing anxiety about the future or regret about the past. Meditation helps us develop the clarity and focus to manage our emotions effectively. Together, these practices create a foundation for mastering the internal world. The beauty of this philosophy is its universality. Whether we're facing professional setbacks, personal conflicts, or unexpected crises, the principle remains the same. Our power lies in how we choose to respond. It liberates us from the futile pursuit of controlling the uncontrollable and empowers us to direct our energy toward what truly matters, our own thoughts, actions, and growth. As Emily discovered, embracing this mindset can be life-changing. It doesn't mean suppressing emotions or ignoring challenges. Rather, it means acknowledging them and then choosing a response that aligns with our values and goals. This is where true strength resides, not in bending the world to our will, but in mastering ourselves. In a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, this Stoic wisdom serves as a beacon of hope and empowerment. It reminds us that while we may not always have control over what happens to us, we always have control over how we respond, and in that response lies our greatest power. Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight. This timeless quote by Marcus Aurelius invites us to rethink our relationship with loss, not as something to be feared or avoided, but as an integral part of life's natural rhythm. Aurelius, with his Stoic wisdom, reminds us that loss is intertwined with change, and change is at the heart of nature's design. By understanding this perspective, we can begin to embrace loss as an opportunity for renewal and growth, rather than simply an ending. Nature, in all its complexity, thrives on cycles of change. The falling of leaves in autumn, while seemingly an act of surrender, enriches the soil for spring's bloom. Rivers reshape their courses over time, carving out new landscapes and creating space for life to flourish in unexpected ways. This natural ebb and flow teaches us that loss is not a void. It's a transition, a gateway to something new. Similarly, in our own lives, every loss we endure can become a catalyst for transformation if we choose to see it through the lens of nature's eternal cycle. Consider Emily, a woman who had built her life and identity around her career as a marketing professional. She had poured her heart and soul into her job, believing it to be the pinnacle of her achievements. But one day, she was blindsided by an abrupt layoff. At first, the loss felt unbearable. The routines, sense of purpose, and stability she had known for years were gone in an instant. She spent weeks in despair, questioning her worth and fearing an uncertain future. The loss of her job seemed to her like the loss of a part of herself. But as time passed, Emily began to confront the stillness that her loss had created. It was during one quiet afternoon, as she sorted through old belongings, that she stumbled upon her childhood sketchbook. Her fingers traced the faded pages filled with vibrant drawings and ideas she had abandoned long ago. This discovery stirred something within her, a spark of curiosity and creativity that had been buried under years of professional obligations. Encouraged by a friend, Emily picked up a paintbrush for the first time in decades. What began as a simple hobby soon became her passion. Emily started sharing her artwork online, and to her surprise, people resonated with her creations. Commissions began to trickle in, and she found herself building a small business that allowed her to not only support herself financially, but also rediscover a part of her identity she had long forgotten. Reflecting on her journey, Emily realized that losing her job had been the beginning of something profound, not the end she had once feared. Emily's story illustrates the wisdom behind Aurelius's words. The loss of her job forced her to confront change, and by leaning into it rather than resisting it, she unearthed opportunities for personal evolution. Loss is rarely easy, and the pain it brings is real and valid. But if we can find the courage to embrace change, to trust in nature's ability to bring renewal, we open ourselves to possibilities we might never have imagined. Life, much like nature, is a series of seasons. There are times of growth and flourishing, but also moments of shedding and letting go. The beauty lies in understanding that one cannot exist without the other. The trees in autumn do not mourn their falling leaves. They prepare for the growth that will follow. In the same way, we can choose to see loss as a necessary part of our journey, an invitation to transform and thrive. Marcus Aurelius's philosophy offers a profound lesson in resilience. When faced with loss, we have a choice. We can view it as a permanent end, or we can see it as a transition, a bridge leading us to new opportunities, growth, and self-discovery. Nature delights in change, and so can we, if we allow ourselves to trust in the process. By aligning our perspective with the rhythms of the natural world, we can navigate life's losses with grace, finding hope and renewal in the spaces where something old gives way to something new. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. In this profound statement, Marcus Aurelius encapsulates the essence of existence, highlighting both the impermanence of the external world and the transformative power of the mind. The universe, vast and incomprehensible in its scope, is in a perpetual state of flux. Every aspect of existence, from the changing seasons to the ebb and flow of human life, is governed by this unyielding law of change. This constancy of transformation is not something to be resisted or feared, but rather embraced as an inherent part of life. In parallel, Marcus Aurelius emphasizes that while the external world is constantly shifting, it is our internal world, our thoughts and perceptions, that determine how we experience these changes. In essence, our thoughts hold the power to shape our lives, turning challenges into opportunities or turning blessings into burdens. The universality of change can often feel overwhelming. The fear of the unknown or the grief of loss are natural reactions to the impermanence that defines existence. Yet, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, these external events are not inherently good or bad. They are neutral, defined only by the meaning we assign to them. It is within this context that the transformative power of the mind emerges. Our perceptions are not passive responses but active constructions, shaped by the narratives we choose to embrace. Positive and constructive thoughts can illuminate even the darkest corners of our lives, offering hope, direction, and meaning. Conversely, negative thinking can cloud the brightest days, creating unnecessary suffering and inhibiting growth. Consider the story of Emma, a young graphic designer with dreams of building a successful career in branding and digital art. Emma had worked tirelessly for months on a major project for a high-profile client. She poured her creativity, energy, and time into delivering exceptional results. Yet, to her dismay, the client abruptly terminated their contract, citing financial constraints. For Emma, this felt like a crushing blow. She questioned her abilities, wondered if she had made mistakes, and saw the loss as a failure that cast a shadow over her aspirations. Her initial thoughts were filled with negativity, amplifying the pain and making her feel trapped in a narrative of inadequacy and defeat. One evening, while scrolling through a collection of philosophical quotes, Emma stumbled upon Marcus Aurelius's words, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Something about the simplicity and depth of this statement struck her. She realized that while she couldn't control the client's decision, she could control how she responded to it. The loss of the project wasn't inherently a failure. It was a moment of change, a neutral event that she could choose to perceive differently. Inspired by this realization, Emma decided to shift her perspective. She began by reflecting on what the experience had taught her. She acknowledged her hard work and creativity, recognizing that the project had helped her grow as a designer. To cultivate a more positive mindset, Emma started a daily habit of journaling 3 things she was grateful for. This practice helped her see beyond the immediate setback, reminding her of the skills she had developed, the supportive network around her, and the new opportunities that change might bring. Emma also used this time to refine her portfolio, incorporating feedback she had received during the project and exploring new design techniques she had been eager to learn but had postponed due to her busy schedule. A few weeks later, Emma attended a local networking event for creative professionals. With her refreshed portfolio and a renewed sense of confidence, she struck up a conversation with an entrepreneur looking for branding services for his startup. The connection blossomed into a collaboration that not only replaced the income she had lost, but also opened doors to a long-term partnership. Reflecting on her journey, Emma realized that the loss of her original client had been a turning point, not an endpoint. By changing her thoughts and embracing the impermanence of the situation, she had transformed what once seemed like a setback into a catalyst for growth and success. This story underscores the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius's words. The universe, in its infinite complexity, will continue to change. We will face moments of joy, sorrow, triumph, and challenge. But the quality of our lives is not determined by these external events. It is determined by how we choose to perceive and respond to them. Through deliberate cultivation of gratitude, optimism, and resilience, we can navigate the ever-changing landscape of life with grace and purpose. Marcus Aurelius's philosophy invites us to embrace the impermanence of the universe, not as a source of anxiety, but as an opportunity for growth and renewal. Just as Emma's story illustrates, we have the power to transform our experiences through the lens of our thoughts. Whether facing adversity or celebrating success, the mindset we cultivate shapes the life we lead. By aligning our perceptions with a positive and constructive narrative, we can find fulfillment and meaning in even the most unpredictable of circumstances. In the end, the universe's constancy of change becomes a reminder of our ability to adapt, grow, and thrive. Nothing happens to anybody which he is not fitted by nature to bear. This timeless quote carries a profound message about human resilience and the intricate design of life's challenges. It assures us that no matter how overwhelming a situation may seem, we are inherently equipped to handle it. Nature, in its infinite wisdom, has endowed every individual with the tools necessary to endure and overcome difficulties. While these tools may not always be immediately apparent, adversity has a way of drawing out our hidden strengths, forcing us to grow in ways we never imagined. To understand this deeply, let us consider the story of Emily, a young artist whose journey reflects the essence of this wisdom. Emily was passionate about illustration from an early age. Her days were filled with sketching whimsical characters, creating vivid worlds, and dreaming of publishing her work. However, the path to fulfilling her dream was anything but smooth. After years of honing her craft, she began submitting her portfolio to publishers, only to be met with rejection after rejection. Some responses were polite but dismissive, while others offered harsh critiques that cut deep into her confidence. The lowest point came when a well-known editor bluntly told her, "Your work lacks market appeal." Those words echoed in her mind, amplifying her self-doubt and nearly pushing her to give up on her dreams altogether. One evening, as she sat in her tiny studio surrounded by stacks of unfinished sketches, Emily stumbled upon an old drawing tucked away in the corner of a forgotten notebook. It was a simple illustration of a phoenix, rising triumphantly from a swirl of ashes. Seeing it brought back a vivid memory of her grandmother, a woman of unwavering strength, who had often told her as a child, "You are like this phoenix. You were born to rise, no matter what life throws at you." Tears welled up in Emily's eyes as she reflected on those words. In that moment, she realized that every rejection, every harsh word, and every doubt was not a sign of her failure but a test of her perseverance. With renewed determination, Emily decided to take a different approach. She resolved to create art that was authentic to her, rather than trying to conform to what she thought publishers wanted. For months, she poured her heart into a series of illustrations inspired by her childhood memories and the stories her grandmother used to tell. These drawings, rich with emotion and authenticity, captured something she hadn't allowed herself to express before. When she finally shared this new portfolio, the response was entirely different. Her illustrations resonated deeply with people, leading to the publication of her first children's book, a heartfelt tale about a phoenix who finds its strength through adversity. The book became a success, touching the lives of countless readers and cementing Emily's place as an artist who created from the soul. Emily's story is a powerful illustration of the quote's truth. Life's challenges are not random or arbitrary. They are intricately woven into the fabric of our existence, designed to stretch us to our limits and reveal our true potential. When faced with hardship, it is natural to feel overwhelmed, to question our abilities, and to wonder if we are capable of enduring. Yet, as Emily's journey shows, these very moments of despair often serve as the crucible in which resilience is forged. By embracing difficulties as opportunities for growth, rather than insurmountable obstacles, we unlock the strength that lies within us. Reflecting on our own lives, we can all recall times when we faced what seemed like insurmountable odds. Perhaps it was the loss of a job, a broken relationship, or the weight of an unexpected responsibility. In the midst of such trials, it is easy to feel powerless. But when we look back, we often realize that we emerged from those experiences stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. The same principle holds true for every challenge we encounter. Each one is uniquely tailored to our capacity to endure, like a storm that tests the strength of a tree but also nourishes its roots. This perspective transforms the way we view adversity. Instead of seeing difficulties as punishments or misfortunes, we can begin to see them as catalysts for growth. Every trial becomes a teacher, every setback a lesson, and every heartbreak an opportunity to deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. By trusting in our ability to bear what comes our way, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and confidence that carries us through life's ups and downs. Ultimately, the wisdom of this quote lies in its simplicity and universality. It reminds us that we are stronger than we think, that nature has equipped us with everything we need to face life's challenges, and that even in our darkest moments, there is a light within us waiting to shine. Emily's story, like so many others, is a testament to this truth. It encourages us to embrace life with courage and determination, knowing that nothing happens to anybody which they are not fitted by nature to bear. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers in history, offers a treasury of wisdom that transcends time. His profound insights into life, change, and resilience are captured through timeless quotes that continue to inspire and guide countless individuals seeking meaning and clarity in their lives. These quotes aren't just words. They are keys to unlocking a deeper understanding of human nature and navigating the inevitable challenges of life. Marcus Aurelius challenges us to rise above adversity, embrace the ever-changing nature of existence, and live intentionally with wisdom and inner strength. Through his teachings, we are reminded that while life may be unpredictable and fraught with difficulties, it is our response to these trials that shapes our experience. By practicing critical thinking, mastering our emotions, and building resilience, we gain the tools to face life's uncertainties with confidence and grace. Imagine a life where every challenge is an opportunity for growth, every change a chance for renewal, and every moment a step closer to wisdom. That is the life Marcus Aurelius invites us to embrace, a life of purpose, self-mastery, and profound fulfillment. If this resonates with you and sparks your desire to live with greater intention, don't stop here. Dive deeper into the philosophy that has stood the test of time. Like, share this video, and subscribe to our channel to continue exploring the teachings of great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius. By sharing this wisdom with others, you can inspire them to embark on their journey of self-discovery and resilience. Together, let's build a community of thoughtful individuals striving for growth and purpose. Hit that subscribe button and join us on this transformative journey.